Hello, hello. So the class we did for today was actually an idea that was created by Paul Ellinger from Michigan. Paul is a singing coach, but his idea for sphere of performance is actually something that applies to all professions: singing, playing sports, and of course dancing. This is our sphere that we're working with. You can imagine it is a 3D sphere, and what we've done is we've poured two liquids that don't mix, so maybe water and oil into it, and they create this swirling pattern. And you can divide the swirling pattern into four different levels of expertise. So at the very bottom, we have the do level. This is most people and most things. You'll see that if we are dividing this half into water is technique and oil is artistry, at the bottom, it is mostly technique. You are memorizing what to do. You're thinking of your triples, your steps. Am I putting my heel down? Am I posting? All these things that you learn in class. You're thinking, do this, do that, you know. And so people can just get lost down here. There is always more technique to learn, but that doesn't mean you're the best of the best. So next level is think, and a lot of like semi-professionals, even professionals, are at this level, but we are at this level too. This is another good chunk of the population. This is the think level, and so instead of just thinking like, oh, I have to do a triple, instead of thinking I have to do a step, step, triple step, you're thinking I have to do a sugar push, and so everything just goes into play. It's these shortcuts we create for ourselves that make it work. You'll see that this level has a bit more artistry, but still you can very easily get lost in technique. I think most communities are going to be in these lower two places. It's a lot harder to get everyone in the above level. So the very, very top elites, but not all the time, anyone can enter this phase, is on a level that is feel. And that is when you are feeling the music. This is majority artistry at this point, but you have your base of technique that you've learned to support you. And so maybe there's something emotional in the music that you are able to bring out through the way that you're dancing, and you feel it, you're in the moment. And the trick a lot of time that happens is when people get to this level, they say, "Wow, I was in the zone. That was so amazing. How do I get back to that?" And then they start thinking and they go down a level. So it's very tricky to stay in this feel phase without going back into think. And then finally, our top 1% of people are B. They are all artistry pretty much, and their performance of their art is almost like meditation. It is just something to behold, you know? Like it's kind of like meditate. Yeah, it's literally meditation. You're on another plane of existence. So there's a reason that this thing is broken in two halves and why it's called the sphere. If you were to hold the sphere in your hands and you turn it towards you, so the water side is, or so the oil side is facing you, all you're going to see is all black, all oil. Um, and if you face it towards you with the water showing through, you'll be able to see the oil in the back, and so it's a really good measure for the difference between technique and artistry. When someone's doing technique, you can see it, like that's all you see. But when someone is being artistic, you're like, wow, like it feels so spontaneous, but you don't realize that there are heaps of technique building upon it. Um, and then finally, how do you grow? How do you learn and make your way up these ranks? That's where the line in the middle comes in handy. So, a lot of us happen to be technique people, and so maybe we're at the bottom, maybe we're at the top, maybe we're even in the think mode. So, wherever you are, what you have to do is you have to think of the mentality of someone who's a level up, but on the flip side. So if you tend to be a person who's very technique heavy in the do phase, you have to start thinking like an artist, like a thinking artist. If you are someone who's a thinking artist, you need technique in the feel side. So we did a couple exercises to kind of get into this mentality. One thing for think is you imagine that you are a regal king and you are telling your people, come to me. And the thing about this is when you're thinking of the word regal, you're sitting back, you're not leaning forward, your weight is on the back of your heels, as it should be. You're calm, relaxed, and you're not tense. It gets everything you need to do from good posture and just thinking about it. So before you start dancing, always think, come to me. You don't want to lean towards your people or they won't believe you. You sit back. So that is one kind of hack you can do to get into that. And then we started playing around with different emotions in our dances. So we said dance like water. And water is something that takes up space, it's very flowy, and it's not limp, it is powerful. So we had a lot of dances that were like water. We tried the Regal King experiment, and we had some very posh dances. And then we started picking emotions. So we said dance like you were devastated, like you just gone through a loss. We would first pick an emotion and then find a song that matched it, and then we worked our way up to picking a song and then finding one word that encompasses it and then dancing it with a partner. And at the end of the song, you would compare and see if the two partners were on the same wavelength and then see if the audience was on the same wavelength, which was really cool to see. A lot of times we saw that maybe dancers would start out with one word, but over the course of a song it would morph into something else and the two would feel it, they would feel the emotion changing. So it's really special to see, especially which words have which impact on you. So we were really getting into to feeling the music. So it's definitely a fun experiment to try at home. Think of something you want to emulate, whether it's water or fire, like elemental things, whether it's an emotion, whether it's a type of person. Maybe you want to dance like a thief, someone who's really sneaky. So try these experiments because every single dance should not feel the same. You really gotta start working your way up to being a dancer.